On this short video, I wanted to discuss a question that probably most people ask when reading the last week's Parshat Emor, which we just read yesterday. And when all the holidays are being described, for some reason, the holiday of Sukkot is described twice. First, the commandment to celebrate this holiday is mentioned, and the mitzvah that has to do with sitting in the tents. And then, separately, after everything is finished, all of a sudden the Torah says, but only on the 15th day of the 7th month, and goes back to Sukkot, again, the same holiday, and tells us about the mitzvah of what's called 4 minim, the lulav and the other fruits and branches that we take during the special mitzvah on Sukkot. Etrog, lulav, arava, and hadassim, the mirt branches. So the question is, why doesn't the Torah just describe Sukkot all at once? And this question is pretty old. A lot of various sages asked and tried to answer this. But I wanted to mention something I just read yesterday in a book called Oznaim LeTorah. It was a sage who lived in the later part of his life in the land of Israel, Rav Zalman Sorotsky. And he was, they also call him the Rav from Slutsk. Slutsk is a city from Belarus where he came from. So he gives two answers, which I think are very interesting and worth telling others, to whoever is interested in this question. And the first answer he gives is that Sukkot actually has two opposite connotations in a certain sense. On the one hand, Sukkot is a holiday when we kind of exile ourselves, not particularly happy occasion that you sit in a sukkah. It's really, there's a midrash that says that if during Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur we were mitchayev galut, if we deserved to be exiled, so this is fulfilled by sitting in the sukkah. In a certain sense, by sitting in a tent, living outside the home for 7 days, we show that if we deserve to be exiled, let it be fulfilled this way rather than by real exile. So whatever one can think about this midrash, at any rate, it definitely is trying to portray Sukkot as not a particularly happy occasion, rather it's a time of exile of sorts, when you live in the tent. On the other hand, Sukkot is the happiest holiday, at least of biblical ones. Later, Purim maybe became the happiest one. Interestingly, Yom Kippur also had some connotation of happiness, but I'm not going to go into this right now. At any rate, Sukkot was an incredibly happy holiday, especially at the times when most Jews were farmers, and this was the end of the cycle. This is when all the crop is already gathered. There won't be any more holidays for half a year, and this was an incredibly happy occasion. And among other things, we pray for rain. As of course in Israel, this is when the rains start after Sukkot. Usually in Israel, only in the time between fall and spring, the entire winter, the rain is coming, if everything goes well. If not, chas v'shalom, then people pray and fast so the rain comes. But there is no rain in the summer at all. So Sukkot, among other things, when we take these 4 minim, they all grow on water, especially at Rog, of course, it's full of liquid. All the citrus plants are full of liquid. So this, according to our sages, has to do with asking for rain, among other things. The world is being judged with regards to rain. At least the land of Israel is being judged with regards to rain. And this holiday is a very happy holiday. So according to Rav Sorotsky, one possibility is that that's why the Torah divides the two aspects of this holiday into two separate paragraphs. First, it talks about Sukkot in general, and then it says, but only it's an incredibly happy holiday. Be extremely happy on this holiday and take those 4 minim, etrog, lulav, and the other 2, aravot, and willow branches, and mirt, hadassim. So that's the second aspect of Sukkot, when you have to be extremely happy. And another possibility he offers, interestingly, Sukkot is the holiday that's mentioned in the prophets with regards to the whole world. It has an aspect. Now, this second interpretation, by the way, does not contradict the first one. They're not mutually exclusive. It actually maybe adds to the first one. So there was a prophet that very beginning of the Second Temple period. It's the end of prophecy in general. He was one of the last prophets. His name was Zecharia. This prophet Zecharia says at the end that all the nations of the world will come to celebrate the holiday of Sukkot. We actually read it as a Haftarah on one of the days of Sukkot, this passage. So it's interesting. Usually all the mitzvot of the Torah are given to the Jews. The non-Jews have 7 Noahide laws, what's called. Unless a non-Jew converts to Judaism, they don't have to celebrate Sukkot. So in what aspect is Sukkot going to be a holiday, at least at the end of days at some point? Maybe one-time occasion, maybe some kind of inauguration will happen when all the nations will gather to celebrate Sukkot. In what way? And how is it applicable to everybody? So Rav Soroskin proposes that it has to do again with rain, which is needed for everybody. And that's the second aspect of the holiday, the universal aspect. So first, the Sukkot is mentioned as a specific aspect of the Jewish people only, and then but only, and the Torah goes on to say that this holiday is going to be a special holiday, actually asking for rain, and it doesn't really say that it's going to be asking for rain, but like I said, the 4 minim, the 4 plants that we take have to do with rain and asking for rain, and that aspect is a universal aspect. By the way, in the list of the holidays, there's only twice the word is used. It's hard to translate. It's some kind of mute. It's an exclusion of sorts, as the Talmud tells us and Rashi brings. But the simple translation is but. So it says but with regards to the holiday of Yom Kippur, because it's not really a regular holiday. It's a fast day, actually. Only on the 10th day of the 7th month you should afflict yourself. And that's, of course, the fasting that we do in Yom Kippur. And then it says like I said in the last paragraph, when it comes back to Sukkot and makes it a special exclusion, but only, this is the exclusive, unusual aspect of the holiday, when it's a universal holiday and everybody will at some point be celebrating it. So this is what I wanted to tell you for today, and if you like this video, please press like, and please subscribe to our channel.